Hey everyone, my name's Nathan Payne. Welcome back to another episode of Blu Ocean Crypto. Got a real treat for you all today. Recently, I met with this project's team, and I just got to say, all of us at Blu Ocean Games Guild are super stoked for this. I think we might be looking at the next big thing when it comes to Web3 gaming. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. Okay, so it's called Dark Machine. They're backed by Tencent and Immutable. If you don't know who Tencent is, do a quick Google search. You'll be blown away. There's a lot of amazing partners that are actually involved here. I'm going to show you guys a gameplay trailer at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for that. But just kind of moving along here, let's take a look at this one. So basically, you've got these dark mechs. It's in the future. And oh man, I can't wait to show you more with this. There's destructible environments. The mechs transform into higher or bigger mechs. So you can see you're like this smaller one that you end up going into another larger one. Here's a little bit of the gameplay. I'm super stoked for this. I'm a big Gundam fan as well as Armored Core. Played pretty much every Armored Core my entire life. And I just think this is going to be absolutely a blast. Right? Look at how amazing that looks. Okay, but let's get into the thick of it, because what do they got going on here? And they've got a lot of really unique things that really piqued my interest, because you guys have been following the channel for a while now, especially if you're involved in Blu Ocean Games Guild. You should know by now that we focus on games that are innovating in this space, doing things that are unique or generally AAA quality. And this one hits all of that, and they're even doing more. So they've got a nice paper here that you can go through. I definitely recommend it. I'm going to go through some of the highlights of it. So basically an introduction, this is a little bit of the backstory. The year is 2070. Essentially, there's this polymer crystal that gives infinite energy, and it's all around the battling for this energy. They talk about the use of hyper AI technologies and was used to attempt to harness it for the dark energy and use it battle advantages. It's currently unclear whether this dark energy can be controlled by mechs, and the battle has begun. So pretty cool lore, and they're doing the whole transmedia thing, so this is also going to turn into an anime, which is going to be pretty freaking sweet. So just kind of moving along, like, what is Dark Machine? It's going to be for PC. They do talk about how there's going to be a mobile version post-launch. It's a competitive team-based mech shooter. Their target core audience is esports and people liking shooting games who are looking for a next-generation version. And their sub-target is GameFi investors looking for long-term value. So what's interesting, they talk about their motivations. They talk about how esports is a closed community, generally with 1% less of a player base, but over 30% of the remaining player base with high skill has no way to take advantage of that. So they want a skill to earn, play for fun, free to play. Decentralized sponsorship platform, which is really cool. I'll show you a little bit more about that here soon. Decentralized daily tournaments, which is also really blew me away. We talk about a mature token ecosystem and AAA quality. The release date is phase 1 in late 2023 to early 2024. So actually, we don't got to wait too long right now. So talk about the Dark Machine team. Now they have some amazing names here, guys. Like, let me just blow this up so you can see. Any of you who've been involved in the gaming industry for a while or anime, you should recognize some of these names right off the bat. And, so right away, this got my attention. Just the lineup of their team, incredibly impressive. I was like, wait, I need to look closer at this. So we know it's a competitive mech shooter. It's a team shooting game. The whole mech genre thing is really good for the anime fit, if you ask me. The whole transmedia narrative that's going on right now. And of course, the whole esports ties into the team strategy aspect of it. I'm talking about some feature highlights. I'm going to slow down a little bit here because this is where the stuff gets good. Blockchain game, they've got the MXNA token. There's going to be NFT asset ownership. Actually, the first set of NFTs, there's only a set of 333. Very little. I think there's something like 60,000 people signed up, whitelisted, so way oversubscribed for that. They talk about player revenue based on staking, factory ownership, skillful gameplay, and lending of mechs. Really cool for guilds. I like the lending of mech part. Real-time smart contract execution of tournaments. Game interface-based custom wallet for easy onboarding with user-selectable third-party wallet support. That's going to be simple, right? We're already seeing Web3 auth, Immutable, all these companies making that a lot easier. Sponsorship platform to create consistent streams of income for all stakeholders. NFT marketplace, yep. on-chain governance model. Yep. And then game feature highlights. You've got the strategic mech shooter team versus team. I really love that the mechs enlarge during combat, which enables asymmetric gameplay with a symmetric framework. When I show you guys the gameplay trailer at the end here, you'll see it just adds this whole different element to the game that I really haven't seen another game do before, that I think is going to give it that feel that you get when you're playing a game where you're just in awe. So mechs transform into creature-like forms using dark energy. There's dynamic maps with destruction. So you can basically destroy the entire environment, which also makes the battles a little bit more intense. There's a lot more going on. That's also really cool for the artistic side. There's competitive game modes. Of course, the mechs have to be customizable. The decentralized tournament thing I think is incredible. There's actually a slide on that coming up here. And then they talk about, of course, it's got to be free to play, easy for onboarding, and use Unreal Engine 5. So here's kind of their thing, right? They're saying free to play. Yep, we get it. This is how you onboard people. You've got to be free to play. It's just the new thing to do. Play for fun. The game has to have core fundamentals. We know this. This is very important in Web3. But then skill to earn. So high skill enabling earnings, because this is tough too. A lot of these games kind of gate the earnings from super high skill. Not everyone can earn. That's okay. That's good. That's good for the ecosystem, right? You want people to be rewarded for their energy and effort and their skill. There's talking about premium battle passes and, of course, all the daily tournaments, and then ad revenue via sponsored parts and arenas. Become a pro player and gain ad revenues. I like that from a marketing perspective because I'm a marketing consultant. I like hearing ad revenue stuff being incorporated into the games. And then rank high in your guild to earn rewards. Sweet. All this stuff is sounding great so far, right? So taking a look at the gameplay, it's max 7v7 mech team third-person shooter. There are a couple different game modes. We'll cover that in a sec. Sentient mechs that turn dark, dynamic max featuring high fidelity destruction, transition from symmetric to asymmetric. And just going into this here, they talk about the 7v7 third-person shooter. I do like that it's third-person as well because you got to enjoy the mechs and how they look. If it was first-person, you don't get to see that, right? Here's a couple different types. It talks about Destroy type X, type S, type E. There's different team compositions that are going to be really important, which also mean your strategy matters. You can't just have everyone using the same type or everyone's the same type of person. There's going to be that strategy part. Sentient mechs that turn dark, which is really interesting. Curious to learn more about this. They also talk about, that has to do with the infinite power. And I mean, look at this art, guys. This concept art here is just freaking sweet. The dynamic maps featuring high fidelity destruction. I think this is just going to make the gameplay a ton of fun. It's also going to add a strategic element because maybe it's good to destroy that wall or destroy that pillar or destroy the ground, to kind of make it more difficult for your enemies. They also talk about transitioning from symmetrical to asymmetric. Look at this. There's the short class, the tall class, and then the grand class. I mean, who doesn't want to be in the giant mech blasting everything? But I like how you kind of equip them, right? You're not just transferring to the next one, you're actually becoming a part of the next mech and leveling up essentially into that bigger form. So a little bit more about the game modes. Talk about domination and supremacy, collect energy, destroy opponents, power up mechs, capture pods from the energy team. That's pretty sweet. I like that idea. Also deathmatch mode, of course, too. So leagues, this is pretty interesting. They talk about the basic 3v3. This is easy. You got a small team, you can jump in, right? You don't have to have a full team. This Quattro League thing took me a moment to kind of figure out. It was like, wait, 4 3-person teams divided into 2 teams. That's pretty cool. Only guilds can participate. It's teams forced to collaborate, and team collabs lead to community expansion. So that was really neat. And then there's the Super League, which is advanced 7v7. Independents or guilds can participate. I like how they split that up, but I'm really interested in the Quattro League. I think that's going to be a ton of fun. Now, here's the thing that really blew me away. Decentralized tournaments. They talk about how esports has traditionally suffered from lack of revenue due to the business model of tournaments catered around tournament organizers. Yep. Big reason why we're so focused on esports at Blu Ocean Games Guild in the Web3 arena. So the logistics for holding tournaments that large sponsors want to invest in it are extremely complex, and typically for such a short duration that it doesn't make sense for everyone involved. So they talk about this, right? DAO-style tournament organization, token-based payment unification, continuous brand exposure, wider breadth of sponsors, 24/7 daily tournaments, because host them all the time, and all skillful players can benefit. So lots of people can host these tournaments, and then there's all the rewards go into it. They've got this whole system set up for the payouts and everything. This is needed in more than just this game. This is needed in the entire industry, if you ask me. So they aim to use blockchain technologies to overcome this by decentralizing them. Awesome. They also talk about how players can be tournament organizers, which is really what ties into the whole DAO aspect of it. Tournament max teams, tournament style, reward pool, match rules. You can coordinate and set that all up. Then they keep going. They talk about a decentralized sponsor platform. Esports has long known to be a closed community of professional players alongside team, guild sponsors, and event organizers. We want to change this approach to competitive gaming by providing a better way for the ecosystem to flourish through blockchain. Yes, guys, I'm stoked that there's a project actually tackling these issues within their project. So you can kind of see an example here, right? You know, you got brand A, brand B, you can in-game placement of ads, those tournament rewards go back, it's this whole cycle. This is fantastic. I mean, I've had hints of this from other games. They've talked about it in a white paper, part of a plan, but I've never actually seen anyone properly implement it yet. This is part of their core thesis here, their core game plan, so I expect this to be front and center with the game. Now, talks about how highly skilled players get the optional benefit of ad revenue sharing through branded parts, items, and arenas. To me, it sounds like they're laying the foundation for longevity as well. A game that can really thrive in the esports scene, which is going to be really important for Web3, because the more we can attract the esports arena over to Web3 because of the use of blockchain technology, and let's be frank, monetary rewards, because money talks, the more influx of players we're going to have coming in droves from Web 2 over to Web 3. Because let's not forget, at the end of the day, guys, these esports teams are businesses. They need to make money. So if there's more money to be made, what are they going to do? They're going to follow the money, right? Talk about how streamers get benefits, viewers get benefits, and sponsors. Wicked. Talk about marketing and promotions, multifaceted marketing and promotion strategy. You know, lots of different things. Epic Store, they're going to do global anime distribution, like wow, right? And they have just some amazing people on the team. And I mean, just take a look here, guys. Some of the stuff that these guys have done is insane. So you guys should probably recognize these names. Esports professional players and teams, whitelisted beta participation, mech collaborations, sponsor platform, and of course the communities. Let's just move along. Tools and technology, UE5, perfect. They're going to use Immutable. I like this because the way it connects to a Google account, very simple, very easy for the onboarding. They talk about some market data, just kind of esports market growth, revenue, audience, kind of why it's important that they're tackling this in the way that they are. I want to get to that trailer, so let's get through this here. Post-launch growth, this is interesting. They talk about AI. They have a vision to turn AI technologies into useful tools for teams to utilize during their matches. So take a look at this, a MIG, machine interface for gamers. It's got side touch sensor bars, a microphone, a lightweight case, a round touch display. This is really cool. So I think this is interesting that they're looking to kind of tie this into the game as well. They talk about liquid staking, sponsorship expansion, and then here's their conclusions. AAA team-based mech-themed third-person shooter, asymmetric experience through mech enlargement and power-ups, destructible environment, experienced team of Japanese developers, Unreal 5, Immutable, brand decentralized sponsor platform, supporting robust tokenomics, rich set of NFTs that add value and ownership. Like, if you guys aren't blown away by this point, I don't know, right? This is why I think this is probably going to be one of the next big titles in this space. So let's take a look here. There's a couple more. We'll just kind of finish this one. I'll bring you down. There was two I wanted to show you here quickly just to kind of round it out. You know, and they're doing great on their raise already right now too. So yeah, let's take a look at this one, and then there's one more I'll show you at the end. So here's a great example of the destructible environment. When it's like up in the air and the mech's moving around, I do get Armored Core vibes quite a bit. I mean, that's crazy. They're like different skills and things that these mechs are going to be able to use. Like, take a look at this. This guy just looks freaking badass. Okay, so here's the main trailer I want to show you guys that just sold me the moment I seen this. Dark Machine. I do like the lore behind it, and I'm very interested to see the anime and the story that they develop behind it. I mean, you guys should know who Goro is. Very famous. Same with him. This is just going to look so good. The high fidelity is incredible. I'm glad I got a good graphics card because I'm looking forward to pushing this to its limits. I can't wait to get my hands on this game, guys. We are going to have a blast at Blu Ocean Games Guild playing the crap out of this. I really like the decentralized tournaments. I think that it's highly needed. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am super stoked about this game. Thanks so much for being subscribed to the channel. Definitely looking forward to making lots more content on Dark Machine in the future. And do me a favor and smash that like button. We'll see y'all in the next video. Cheers.